It was a very elegant aircraft, and what looks good must fly good. And the Comanche, it was the first time when I really had the impression this saying is correct. This Comanche is just outstanding.
So let's now introduce the Piper Comanche to the wonderful world of accu-sim.
Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Jeff Pestridge. Welcome to another Sim Market Spotlight review, and this is going to be a bit of a lengthy one. This is going to last longer than 5 minutes. This is the A2A Comanche 250 in P3D version 5. The A2A Simulations company has released the Comanche finally for Microsoft. So Microsoft users finally get to see what A2A Simulations has to offer and see what they're all about. Something that P3D and FSX has been enjoying for decades. And there is no other airplane which personifies the epithet of dynamic elegance more aptly than does the Piper Comanche 250. So I figured we're going to take this plane, we're going to do a complete setup, and we're going to do a patterned flight and a landing, and we're basically going to see what this plane has to offer. It includes features such as aircraft DNA technology, which recreates actual engine and airframe vibrations. It's a true propeller simulation. So when you fly this, you can experience the world's finest high-performance general aviation airplane ever created in flight simulation. And A2A, I have to say, are the best general aviation aircraft developers for flight simulation ever. If you fly A2A and you fly the accu-sim, you are going to be flying as close to the real thing as possible. All of their planes are based on a real-life model that they either actually own, such as the Comanche 250, this particular one, or a representation like in a museum piece like the Stratocruiser that they've had access to, so they actually can see it in flight, record engine sounds and everything like that. What is included in this is a immersive pre-flight inspection system, which has been designed by pilots as well while operating the actual Comanche 250. It has ground dynamic physics, including both hard pavement and soft grass modelings, and also, you know, primer only starts. So you have to really follow an accurate care for this airplane. accu-sim basically monitors the amount of fuel that's injected and its effectiveness to start and run the engine. And if you mistreat it, then you're going to pay the price. accu-sim is also what's known as a persistent state. So it remembers the state of your aircraft that is left in. So if we go to the hangar here, basically I have flown this for 2.5 hours and it's in great shape, but the right aileron hinge needs to be repaired. So basically we can do a complete overhaul of this and everything will get repaired, and eventually that aileron will, that's it, done. I can go and change the soundproofing if I wanted to. I can change the battery, so we'll give it a new battery. I can even change the tires to Air Hawk or Air Track. I quite like Air Track. We could even have a look inside the engine here and tune this up as well. We can add more oil, give it an oil change. So we're going to use the high performance oil, which is this Victory one. With an additive in it. So there we go. We can even basically change the spark plugs if we want, if they've been worn, to either fine wire or massive. I think we'll go with the massive one. We can, the alternator, the starter, basically everything. Give the engine a complete overhaul. And this is just like having the maintenance man come in and do everything as well. So we can even, add gear lobe fairing. We can add elevator tips if we want. We can add wing root fairings. We can add the slippers and the caps, the seal caps. We can add that. Even the engine heater kit can be changed, and there we go. Basically a complete tune-up of this engine now. And if we go into how our airplane is in the pilot notes here, it says the cabin is cool, and then it gives you sort of notes on, you know, how best to use this. This is a piston combustion engine, so really, you know, it works like air comes in, it mixes with fuel, ignites, there's moving parts, it'll heat up, and if you try and, you know, start from cold, you might find it ain't gonna start the first time. And to be honest, every time you start this plane, it might be different, and it's not the fact that the plane is broken or the sim is broken. It is actually working fine. This is what accu-sim is. It is amazing. It truly is. This is a must be, you know, flown by the book. It's been designed and built like that. It also comes with 4 naturally animated passengers that can sit in any of the pilot or seating configuration, in 3D, pure 3D instrumentation, a totally audible flight deck, and authentic fuel delivery. Which reminds me, we think we need to add some fuel here. So let's top up our fuel tanks to maximum. We won't do the tips, but we will throw in the pilots. We will. This is going to be. We're going to be taking our buddies along. So let's put in passengers. So they can go there. There's 4 passengers, and they're all in there seated. Baggage can even be put in. So we'll put in some baggage, and this will affect obviously the handling. Let's top up the oil. The handling of the aircraft in terms of takeoff. So you will have to allow for all this. So there we go. Right, so checklist Charlie time. So it even has a walk around checklist, which we're going to do now, and this is really good. So let's see here. We're going to start with our first one, which is remove the wheel bungee cord. So we actually need to get inside the aircraft for that, which is, oh, it's already gone. Okay, fair enough. Turn the master switch on. So let me get rid of that, and let's have a look here. Down here we've got the master switch. We need to turn that on. Fuel quantity gauges, check them to make sure they concur, which it is full of fuel. And then the fuel selectors need to be both turned on, which I believe is down here. There it is. So turn that on. And that one. There we go. And then we can turn the master switch off. But one thing I'm going to do is actually turn the pitot heater on and lower the flaps. There we go. I think that's set in reverse there. I'll remember that. And then we can turn the master switch off. There we go. Right, so let's do the walk around, shall we? What we've done as well, before we do the walk around, we have jacked this thing up to replace that aileron. So we need to get rid of that jack system. So if we remove the jacks, there we go. And now I believe we'll be able to start our walk around. So if we now can go to the first item, it says check the flaps, so the ailerons rather. There we go, and these look like they're all in good stead. Good. The right wing, everything looks a little bit worn, but generally a-okay, nothing there. Wingtip navigation lights, check the condition. They're not cracked or broken, they're in good stead. Inspect the right landing tip here. This is all good. Wing tie down, disconnect. So we're going to disconnect that. The wheel chocks, disconnect. The wheel chocks, disconnect that. Let's make sure they already are disconnected. Check the levels here. It is full of fuel. Another thing to note as well with this fuel level, when you're checking it, if you actually go to the fuel page here and start to lower it, you see it depleting down, which I think is pretty cool. You can actually see the fuel quantity going down. So we fill it back up. Now, obviously, there is going to be slight differences between this modeling of this animation in P3D versus Microsoft. The concept is exactly the same. So both simulators simulate this plane exactly the same, which just goes to show how good A2A are with how different those two sims are. So the nose, we're making sure that there's no damages or cracks in there, which I don't see. No rags have been left behind by the engineers. The nose, we want to check the oil in here. A dipstick test shows that we have plenty of oil. And the left wing, we want to check that. That again is full of fuel. Remove the chocks, which they have been done in the tie downs. That has already been done. And we want to check that, whatever that is. And we want to check that's the pitot, and then we want to make sure this is warm. It's actually cold to touch, so I guess it didn't heat up as much as I thought it did. Left landing light inspection done. Left wing inspected. There's no cracks, there's no problems. Check the aileron here, that's all good. And check that one. Yep. Check the struts here, they're all decent. And the fuselage, make sure that is secure, no blockage. Tail done. They look clean and brand new, that looks good. And the elevator is all good, and make sure we lock that up. And that is it, guys. That is the walk around inspection done. So right now let's shut the door, which we can either do one of two ways. We can either do that or that. And now we need to start this puppy up, so we're going to bring up the checklist here. So it says here we did, upon entering the cabin, we did the pre-flight. The passengers have been briefed. Oh, the passengers have done one for some reason. Passengers are all there. I guess there's no visual passengers in P3D from the interior, but from the exterior you can see them. Seatbelt signs, flaps can come back up now. And radios, circuit breakers, electrical switches, autopilot, rotating beacon, that can go on. So let's do this. Beacon. So we got the rotating beacon on. Carb heat is off. Fuel selector is set to the desired tank. So we just need really one of these selected. So we'll just use that one. Doesn't matter which one you select, they both draw into the engine. You don't need them both selected. You only really need one selected. Gear switch is down, I believe. I'm going to say yes because the wheels were showing. And we need to start this up. So throttle is correct. That's the throttle. That's the prop. And then we've got the mixture. So we want a full mixture, full prop. Crack that. Actually, we're going to do it exactly like it says here. So yeah, throttle cracked, mixture rich, prop rich. Master switch goes on, because if you don't do it properly, guys, it won't start properly. Okay, so master switch is on. Check that the gear lights are green, which it is. Now this gear switch here I'm going to go through is very important. I've seen a lot of people land without any gear, and there is a reason for that, and I'll explain once we get into the air. Fuel pump, put it on. So the fuel pump is down here, switch that on, and check the pressure for the fuel pump. And the fuel pressure is rising. It is good, so we can turn that off. Engine has been primed, so we want to prime the engine. So, I mean, we don't need to prime the engine here because it's actually quite warm. But I'll just prime it anyway. Three squirts should do. Mags both are on. Set to both. Done. Engine clear, guys. I'm going to start this out. Oh, you're right, mate. How's it going? Look at him. He's waiting for me to take off. Tom Cruise when he's about 80. Right. Engine clear. Mags, let's start the engine off. Crank it. Boom. She starts first time. Lovely. Right. Let's... Oil pressure. Check the oil pressure. Make sure it is rising good, which it is. It's in the green. Is it going to go into the yellow? I hope not. Animator, I don't actually know what that is. And then lean out the mixture. So half mixture before it starts to sputter and die. Now we can switch on the avionics master, and we would obviously, put in the comms here and all this, but in all honesty, we're in a virtual world. We're not on a live network. I'm not even going to bother switching any of that on. This is a pleasure flight, so but obviously you would in the real world. And that is the engine start complete. So we can put on our strobe light now. I guess we should have done that before, actually. And we've got the landing lights there. They're all good. And everything is good here. So that is the after engine start checklist complete. Right, radios would go on now. Transponder would be set to alt, which I will set the transponder. So that's that set. Heading indicator set, which I'll do that on the runway. Radio, parking brake, and that is initial roll. So there we go. Right, let's go. I'm going to put this up here so I can still see it. And we are going to get out of here. Where is the runway? I do not know. There's a road over there. I've never been to this airport before. We'll follow the yellow line. Right. Here we go. We're rolling. So, what else basically is this? It's the Comanche is a unique conjoining of aeronautic and aesthetic qualities, and it marks the very special airplane that is the Comanche from A2A. It has been said that if an airplane looks right, it will fly right. Well, don't know if I agree with that, actually. If it feels right, surely it will fly right. It is supposed to be that the eye's natural ability to sense the pleasing proportion and intrinsic efficiency of a design is a reliable predictor of similarly excellent aeronautic performance. The Comanche 250 proves that this adage may be relied upon and bears validity. The Piper Comanche takes its well-deserved place on an illustrious list of airplanes which are both very pleasing to the eyes and which are very capable of superior performance. Okay, so here is the runway. Let's slow down the old mother here. And, oh, our heading bug looks like it's already set. Good, so here we are. This is runway 14, is it? 32. Okay, let's get on the runway by turning on our taxi lights. There we go. So, run up here. Now, it says here you've got to do a run-up test. So, brakes hold, fuel quantity check desired, mixture is set, and then throttle it up to 2,000 and make sure everything is running good, which it is. Check the instruments, the oil pressure, the oil temp, the fuel pressure, and all that. You can even do a mag test to make sure that the if you put it onto the left, that you'll have a dip in battery, but I'm not going to really mess with that. Again, this isn't really like a real life flight, so obviously a prop cycle as well. Cycle it 1 to 3 times, check the carb heat, and that is your run-up test done. So before takeoff, make sure your controls are free and clear, so which they are. And I'll remove that. Actually, no, we'll keep that. Fuel pump now can go on. Carb heat is off, mixture is rich, prop is set, trim tab is set to neutral, and the flaps are set. So let's set our flaps actually. First stage of flaps. Let's get onto the runway. Before checklist completes, door is obviously all done. Oh, we're gonna pop in our headphones. There we go. Now we've got our headphones on, and we can do throttle full. And here we go, rock and roll. Everything's set, boys. So we're looking for 85 knots before we'll take off. There's 60, 70, 80, and she will fly at 85. There we go. Boom, we're in the air. Ooh, a little bit of a wind tail. Now, the gear. This is a 3-state gear system. So one press will bring it up to neutral, but it doesn't actually bring it up. Okay? So, and then the second touch of it will actually bring it up. Now, it's the same when you're landing. One touch does not bring your gear down, okay? It only puts it into like an unlock state. Then you have to then do that. So we can put flaps down, and we are going to do a little bit of a turn here. And I'm going to hand fly this basically the entire way. So that is the takeoff checklist complete. We climb. It says fuel pump 1,000 feet per minute, or 1,000 AGL. Fuel pressure, check it. The maximum RPMs is 250, so we want to set our props for 240, sorry. Best angle is at 84 knots, so we could actually climb at a steeper rate. I've set my performance. I can also bring back the throttle a little bit, because we really there's a lot of power behind this, so bring that back to 2500. And there we go. And then it says once you get to 5,000 feet, you will lean out the mixture. But she's doing fine at the moment. Power is set, RPM is set, and we can... I don't know what flight level we're going to go up to be fair, but yeah. She is flying nice. I gotta say, out of all the GA aircraft I've flown, this is probably one of the, I would say, apart obviously from like Cessna 172, 152, 182, this is probably one of the easier ones. Like if you were going from a 152, this would be your next one to go to. This is a very easy plane to fly. It's a very complicated system under the hood, but it is actually quite an easy plane to fly. So I definitely recommend it. And the Comanche is also particularly exceptional in that it doesn't achieve its excellent aerodynamic performance at the expense of the interior room and comfort. It is among the roomiest and most comfortable of the high-performance planes that is put to the flight sim world. So there is plenty of room in the back, guys, for your friends. Right, we are in a blackout era of clouds, so good thing that this Comanche can actually fly quite high. There's a lot more to say about the Comanche, which I won't actually go through now, but I will say that it is totally worth getting, totally worth picking up. It is available on Sim Market. It's for P3D, it's €53. I don't know what it is in Microsoft, but I thought I'd give this a review. This is a P3D review, effectively, not really a Microsoft review. I mean, it behaves exactly the same in both sims. Obviously, both sims have different ways of displaying the textures, but the flight deck is exactly the same layouts, the same instrumentation, and the same behavior. So it's really just a case of preference of sim. There is no one better Comanche than the other in terms of like sims. Right, we need to start thinking about leaning soon. I don't know. We're not actually climbing. Let me start climbing here. I want to try and get above this weather here. Get her up. This is true instrumentation flying. This is, you know, haven't got a clue. I've got no visual references. Don't even know where the airport is now. There is an assortment of GPS options that you can actually put in if you want to, but do you know what? I'm an old school retro flyer. I like VOR to VOR. GPS really is like, I feel like I'm cheating, you know? I don't really utilize the GPS. Right, so let's see here. Engine performance. It says the cabin is nice and steady. We are clocking up our endurance and our range. Fuel economy is okay, and not much else to say really. What we do need to do is get above this weather though. Hopefully it will start, you know, clearing up a bit. Come on. Oh yeah, baby. There we go. Let's see if we can get around here. Fly within this little sector. And if you were a passenger, this is what I'd see. But we're not. We're the pilot. Here we go. We can fly in the eye of the storm here. Right, now we know where the cloud base is. We can aim to achieve it. Let's go. Let's bring this puppy up. Let's see what she's got. We're in the eye of the storm here, guys. We're in the end game. Come on. Right, so we're above 5,000 feet. We need to start leaning this sucker out. So we want to bring it back until she dies. We can give it some more throttle and some more props to help us get up to the level we need. The mixture is now set, so we still are not at top of climb though. We just need to get above these clouds, and it's great. The Comanche is great. The good thing about the Comanche is that its engine is persistent. This is a well-tuned machine. I love flying it. I truly do. Like, I highly recommend the Comanche or any A2A plane. Like, even if you're not majorly into GA planes, you will actually appreciate the accu-sim system and the persistent state of the engine after a few flights, because if you mistreat the landing, you land hard, man, you've got to replace your gear, you've got to send it to the tune-up shop. You know, there are things that you're not going to be able to do on your next flight. And another thing about the accu-sim, which I really like, is that it, like I said, it's a persistent state. So let's just say you go on holiday, right? You know, there's a family holiday been booked. You're not going to be, you know, at your PC. You're not going to be playing the flight sim. Your Comanche, effectively, wherever you last left it, is grounded. You know, let's say you're off for a week. Okay, that's a week. You can say that your Comanche is idle at that airport. The accu-sim remembers the days of the week. So if you leave it for like a month sitting idle at the airport, man, you might have to replace a few things when you come back to it. Because if a plane needs to be turned over on a regular state, like, you know, batteries will die off and just, you know, bleh, if left to rot. Things won't work maybe as you left it if you just leave the plane and never do anything with it. So it is in your best interest to keep it flying regularly, even if it's just to turn it over and then that's it. Like, you really have to maintain the actual, you know, plane itself, even when you're not flying it. This is the only airplane developer I know to put this kind of level of detail into their aircraft. Right, so I think we're above the weather now. I think we can safely say we're above the weather. So we're going to level off here by turning on... actually, I'm not going to use the autopilot. I'm just going to level off here. So fuel pump can come off and we'll just level it. So we can bring our power down a bit until she levels. I think that might do it. Yeah, beautiful. Still flying a bit. I think we might need to add some trim on this. And she's level. And there we go. We got a stable boom. I love the way that the aircraft gyrates in proportion as well. So, we'll go over to those mountains, and then basically we're going to do a quick landing as well. So we've hit the cruise phase of our flight. It says it's got to check the fuel pressure. and stuff like that. Now, another thing you really want to do is keep an eye on the fuel tanks. We are sucking one from another, so we have to kind of make sure we're leveling out our fuel. So if obviously you are heavy on the one side, your landing will be a bit wonky and you will know about it. So we've really got to be careful about that. We are at 9,000 feet. We want to try and stay here. I think we can bring our propeller down a bit now. There we go. And you'll know when you've got this thing flying correctly because the cockpit doesn't really gyrate that much. You know, the flight deck doesn't wobble and move on its own. Once you get this straight and level, it will kind of flesh out for you and be smooth. And that's when you know you've got it right. So right now we're getting a little bit of gyration, a little bit of oscillation. So just need to bring my trim down to level this plane off. And then literally, as soon as I'm level, that oscillation will finish, like it kind of slowing down now. And that's it, it'll be no more. There we go. Probably my throttles are a bit high, so we bring that down maybe. Okay. There we go, and there it is. That's probably the perfect pitch. Obviously you're going to be using trim, just little touches here and there to keep it stable, but as you can see now, once she has got 0 on the vertical speed, she doesn't really oscillate that much, although on this case she is, so maybe give it a bit more throttle or a bit less throttle. But yeah, there we go. Right, let's try and land this sucker, shall we? It's all very well flying to the mountains, but there's no runways there. We need to get below this weather now, because we've got some sort of cloud base here at the foot of these mountains. But basically that's it, guys. Like, that is this plane. We're just gonna land the plane now, and I ain't gonna worry too much about landing on a runway, to be fair. So let's bring up our checklist. And it says here, obviously, you turn your autopilot off for a landing. You turn your fuel pump on. You select the desired tank. So we are actually going to flip these tanks for this. There we go. Mixture is rich, so we want to bring up the mixture in and start, bringing shit in. So props full, throttle down. And we will start descending as a matter of less power into the engine. And then we've just got to find a runway, really. I'm not sure there's going to be one over there. I don't really know where I am, to be fair. Right, let's get our map out. We'll do a little bit of a cheat here. We are in South America somewhere. Right, so possibly a runway that we're going to have runways off here to our left. So if we go left, we will find a runway. So I can see the ground there. There's a nice little thing. So let's head in for that. Speed we want to keep at a constant, so we don't want to stress this thing too much. We want to... Oh, we're losing it. There we go. We want to keep the speed at a constant. We don't want to stress it. And as soon as I can see that gap in the market for... which is gone. Rip. Okay. I think that was a nice left turn. Let's try and just get below the clouds for starters. Oh, there we go. There's a nice little... Right, have we got a runway down there? My gosh. Man, it's like Area 51 down there. Don't know what that is. Maybe we might find something in here. Let's see. Let's see what we got. Oh, she's going too fast here. We need to We're getting into the danger zone. Okay. Don't really want to descend down where there's mountains, but we need to descend at some point. Here we go, guys. We're going downtown. Okay. Engine is literally idled. So engine is idled. We're going really fast in. 7,000 feet. Okay, so mixture rich, and then it's like gear down and all that when you see the runway. So, but we don't actually see a runway yet. We've got to look for one. Oh man, this is not like proper flying, guys. This isn't. Don't expect proper flight simulation here. This is just a look-see at the plane and what it can do. Like, I am not a real pilot. Highly recommended. The link, by the way, to this particular plane in P3D is in the description box below, but I highly recommend it. No matter what sim you fly, I highly recommend the A2A Comanche. Alright, I can see something there, like a mountain. Oh, flying close to the mountains, guys. Oh dear. Oh man. Yeah, this ain't legit here. We are, oh my gosh. Yeah, we came close here. We came close. Dude, we need more power. Rev me. Oh, dude. I think we've got ourselves into a tricky fix here, guys. I don't think we're going to get out alive. Come on, baby. Pump it. Let's go. Oh, no. I don't believe it. I don't think we're going to make it over this mountain, guys. This is why GPS is handy. This is why you need proper navigation. But at the same time, this is what flight simulation is for. You know, doing the things that you can't do in real life. Okay, we can do a turn here. We can skim this mountain. If anybody was on this mountain, he could tickle our belly. There we go. We are in, and we are barely afloat with our speed. Airspeed definitely needs to increase. There we go, it's increasing. So let's bring our throttle back before we overspeed now. Dude, it's like a canyon race, this is. Dude, I need to see... Oh, man. Where's the airport? Guys, we might just have to land it in the valley. And so we're going to test the true... Oh, sugar, we are overspeeding majorly. Bring it back, bring it back. Oh, dude, this ain't gonna end good, guys. This ain't gonna end well. I can see it already. Man, where's the speed brakes? I need air brakes on this thing. I'm going too fast. There we go. Speed's coming down. Dude, this... Oh, no! Losing visibility now is not a good idea. Oh, shit. Pardon my French. Oh, we crashed! Oh, that's it, boys. It's over. It's over. She's dead. Boom. Crash. And we destroyed the engine, as you can see here. Not a good landing. Oh dear. What does it say on our report? It says fuel economy's gone to crap. Let's see what the garage says, shall we? The garage says our main bearings are wearing out. The white metal present is in the oil. Pretty bad prop strike. There may be additional damage. The right flap needs to repair. The right wing flap is jammed. Basically, your plane is crapped out, and we did a Harrison Ford on that landing, and we're probably dead, in all honesty. So that will need to be put in the shop and repaired, guys, before I can fly this one again. Everybody, I'm sorry in there. You guys, well, you signed your life insurance forms, so you knew what you're getting into. Guys, that's basically it. A2A Comanche from the Comanche from A2A Simulations. It's available on Sim Market for both prepared and from Microsoft. Go get it. It's a fabulous plane to fly, as I'm sure everybody already knows, because many people are already flying it. But if you haven't got it, go get it. Thank you so much for watching this Sim Market review. Don't forget, every month I give away €50 of FLIGHTSIM vouchers. All you have to be within a chance to win is be a subscriber on my channel. Leave a comment down below in any one of my videos, and at the end of every month I go live with a vlog to announce the winner. And I'll see you in the next review, guys. Take care. Bye bye.